Madam Clerk, next item.
Well, actually, it's the same item. It's my
Okay.
item.
Well, please.
Public participation.
Let's bring up Kimberly.
Yeah, Kimberly, and I was going to say a few more words, but let's get Kimberly. She is going to be quarterbacking this and has a little PowerPoint presentation to explain what she's going to be doing. So take it away, Kimberly. And as you know, Kimberly is still assigned to Islamorada, so she's in, that looks like the Islamorada office. You right, Kimberly? You're still there?
Good morning from the beautiful village of Islamorada. Yep. But hopefully I will be back soon. We are doing good work up here. So I will attempt to share my screen. And so Roman, I kind of thought you might tee it up just a little bit more, but that's okay. Anyway, so obviously, as you all know, we do have this very robust conversation coming up about the ROGO. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
You
Okay,
just mentioned robust. It's the theme of the day.
Oh, robust. Well, that's probably why I'm using it, is because I've heard it so much this morning. We have a very good conversation coming up about the issue with the ROGO and what we're going to do about that. And obviously, as we are well aware, you want as much community input and community conversation surrounding that as you possibly can get before you all make a decision. And so, thank you, Roman. He's put me in charge of quarterbacking that. And so I'm looking forward to that work. But of course, it's a work of many. So we are going to have a team. I'm going to share my screen now, which is, here we go. Share. All right, can you all see that?
Yes.
All right, and I guess I need to turn it into a presentation, maybe? Slideshow. There we go. All right, super. So this is the public participation process plan, and obviously this is a very preliminary draft. I'm sure many tweaks will be made. This is a discussion and direction item, and so anything that you have to add to this, anything that you're not in favor of, that's what we're all here to talk about. So this is, again, very preliminary. So just working through this a bit. The purpose of this process is to create a community conversation, and I want to stop there. I know I didn't put a period, but this really is, as I understand what the BOCC and Roman would like to see, this is a community conversation about what we want as a community to see happen with the ROGOs. So, with that said, to gather input and data from residents, stakeholders, and intergovernmental agencies for use by the BOCC's decision-making regarding possible revisions to the Monroe County Rate of Growth Ordinance. So that's the purpose of what we'll be doing for the next quite a few months, so basically into December of this year. And as you all know, as I just mentioned, this is a team effort, so obviously, though I may be quarterbacking it, we're going to have the Board of County Commission staff, obviously Kevin Wilson, with Roman's unfortunate departure from us. Kevin Wilson will be the general of all things, and then I'll be quarterbacking overall coordination and facilitation. Emily Schemper, of course, the queen of ROGO, and she'll be working on planning, public education, etc. Then we'll also be including Kristen Livingood, because obviously there's got to be a social media and a PR presence, and she's the expert in that. And then obviously Bob Schillinger, because we want him to be overseeing all of us to make sure we don't do anything that we're not supposed to do. But I want to highlight here, we're also going to be bringing in some collaborators with us. It's a team from FSU, sorry, mauled that, sorry. The UM people will be happy about that, but they are the Consensus Center, and they've been working for 30 years to build consensus around public policy, and specifically things that are specifically very difficult, public policy that's very difficult, that needs consensus built around it, that's going to be a big decision for groups. And so we're going to work with them in a support capacity. They're going to help us craft the questions. They're going to help us do data analysis. They have an excellent reputation. Roman, did you want to speak to, I know you've worked with them in the past. Did you want to speak to that at all?
Sure, and I think some of the commissioners, and Commissioner Lincoln, I think, worked with them back about 10 years ago. We brought him in for the affordable housing working group that we had. And about 10 years before that, maybe 15 years before that, I worked with them with the Water Management District. They were created by the legislature after the comp plans came into being. And what that created, well, you can imagine, was a lot of distrust and things. So these folks came in, and they're collaborators, and they work very hard in consensus building, and they're experts in that. We've successfully worked with them. They gave us a proposal. I have it here, and Kimberly's going through it. And a lot of the things that they put in a proposal, Kimberly's going to be doing, but they're still, I think, important to bring in as an independent party to help us with this effort. I think it's important. So we'll be giving you more update on how we're going to use them as time goes on. Thanks, Kimberly.
Absolutely. All right, thank you, Roman. So the process, as many of you are well aware, of my strategic planning process. What we're going to do is we're going to essentially build on that process and make, I hate to overuse the word, but more robust process. We're going to focus specifically on, because this is a community conversation, we're going to talk about community workshops, commission workshops, public workshops, stakeholder outreach, and very important, municipal and county conversations and collaboration, because we can't do this alone. This has to be a united voice from all of us. And so all four of these are really the key components to creating that community conversation. Just to keep everybody in the loop, in the 2020 strategic planning process, what I did was the 826 responses to our online survey. We'll be doing an online component for this program as well. I did 23 presentations with 846 attendees that we all, I have that specific number because, of course, as you all know, I use that software, and I will continue to do that through this process that allows for you all to receive exact feedback and the raw data from those folks, but we will also create an analysis of that data. And then we also did stakeholder meetings. I did 4 individual and then department meetings with 94 people total. We also did social media posts. I expect this to be a much more extensive process, with strategic planning. Though I may love it, not everyone loves strategic planning as much as I do. So, when I go out to community groups and say, I'd love to come and talk to you about the county strategic plan, they're very gracious about fitting me in, but I think that this one, people I'm hoping will be reaching out to us if I haven't reached out to them already, and scheduling us to come to their meetings and talk to them. My intention is to talk to everyone from the HOAs to the chambers, the rotaries, the different municipality in their council meetings, to any HOA that would like to meet with me, anybody who will, as Commissioner Lincoln once said, if you stand still long enough, Kimberly will give you a PowerPoint. So that is going to be the goal here. So a little bit about the timeline. This is incredibly important because we do have this timeline that needs to be met. It's been made clear to me that you all really, really need to have this decision made sometime in December, January, so that it can be moved forward with Lisa and the legislative agenda. So the timeline being in March and April, we'll be working on coordination with the team, development of educational tools. That's going to be really important because we want to make sure that people understand the questions that we're asking. We want to make sure that they understand all the various aspects of it. You know, in the library world, I always tell people that the role of a public library is to provide open access to information so that you can create an informed citizenry that is able to self-govern. This is very much the same way. If people don't understand the issue fully, they really can't formulate their own opinion. And so we want to make sure that they're able to do that. We're not trying to craft their opinion. We're just trying to give them all of the information they need so that they can do that. And then they can give it to us. So development of questions and online tools, book and promote community meeting presentations for the upcoming months. And then also at the March meeting, you'll be receiving a very comprehensive update from Derek Howard. He's going to talk about takings 101 and the legal issues surrounding the issue. And then also your Director of Planning, Emily Schimper, is going to give you an update on the remaining vacant land within Monroe County. So that'll give us a lot of information, and there go also the community. We'll also begin to schedule and begin discussions with municipalities and also start stakeholder meetings. And by stakeholders, those are those individuals who are constitutional officers, individuals, you all, the superintendent of schools, all of the folks that, you know, traditionally we talk to who are stakeholders. Not that everyone in the community isn't in this case, but those are very dedicated meetings. Also, step 2, the timeline from May to August. We'll do ongoing team coordination, that collaboration with CC, and then the folks that I've already talked about. Community meeting presentations will happen during this time period. You will continue to receive work updates and have the opportunity to discuss, as well as the public having the opportunity to discuss anything or make comments during your BOCC meetings. Municipal and county coordination will continue during this time, stakeholder meetings as well, and the deployment of those online tools, online surveys, etc. From September to November, we'll be doing data collation. You know, that's kind of an underestimated portion of this. It does take a minute and a half to do that data collation. When you start talking to hundreds or thousands of people, it takes a minute to put all of that data together, and then also to analyze it and reduce it into a summary that's usable by not only yourself but also the general public. During that time, we'll also, after we do the data collation, we'll do a report to the BOCC. We'll continue those workshops and discussions during this time, and we'll also be coordinating with the municipalities so that they can go to their councils and receive a final decision from their perspective that they can then give to you all, so that when we reach step 4 in December, you have all the information you need to have a final discussion, final workshop, and then make a decision. So, ultimately, the process that we have crafted will educate the community and the stakeholders on all aspects of the issue, allow for input by all members of the community through a transparent and public process, and gather data and provide an analysis for the BOCC's decision-making. So, that is the end of my presentation.
Okay.
And I'm open to any questions.
Thank you, Kimberly. Pretty, very clear, concise. Thank you so much. Commission, questions, comments?
No question. Seems like a good plan, good timeline, and necessary.
Excellent. Thank you. Commissioner Cates?
Yeah, I just want to say I'm so happy that you're tasked with this. That's how we first met in Key West when I was mayor, and she was a strategic planner for the county. Was hired for that, and she did so thorough and amazing job going out. So she's going to really be an asset here, of course, the face of this as we move forward and meet with the public, and it's so important. So I'm so happy that you're doing it, and what a great plan you come up with already. Thank you.
Excellent. Commissioner Lincoln?
Thank you. Yeah, this is such a huge decision for our county, and it really will need all of us to make sure our community is engaged in this. You know, when you think we have 82,000 residents, and the strategic plan, you did such a great job, and you got out to everywhere in the community, and yet we only had, I don't know, a couple thousand people respond. So I just really urge everyone in our community to please be engaged in this. Listen to our meetings, come to our workshops, go online. Kristen, you're going to be tasked with a huge job on getting social media involved and making sure that everybody has their opinion heard in this decision. So y'all have a big job ahead of you.
Mayor
We
Pro
all
Tem?
do.
No, yeah, Kimberly, good plan. We obviously need to go through the process of executing it very well, as this is going to be probably the biggest issue we have to deal with this year. So we need good information to make good decisions. So thanks for taking this on, and we need to get you out of Almirada.
Yeah.
I know it's coming. Don't you worry.
I know.
Kimberly, just a quick question. Are we going to, under the team members, are we going to include Barbara Powell under that?
We
Yes,
we can
absolutely.
include. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I heard-
Barbara Powell, I mean, she's joining our team and has such,
Emily's giving a thumbs up.
yeah, sorry, Emily, yeah, excellent. Just a comment I noticed, and then because we are going to be asked about the plan and what we're doing, is there any way that you could share your PowerPoint? Because I know I'm going to be on the radio tomorrow and I'm going to get asked about this amongst other things. So I would like to have, just so that we're all on message, we're on point, we're all speaking the same language, apples and apples, as we you know, come out of the gate on this. Maybe share your presentation.
I'll be sending it to Jathan. I will also email it to all of senior management, and I'll email it to all of you so that everyone has it. I'm glad that you're all in favor of the plan. If you have any suggestions or anything like that, and the one thing that I would add for anyone out there that is considering or thinking to themselves, hey, gosh, I'd love for her to come and talk to my group, grab a pen, and I will give you my cell phone number.
Yeah. I think most of
And
us
I know
have
that
it, but
it's 305-587-3683. So if you're out there in the public and you have a group that you would like for me to come and talk to about this, please write my cell phone number down. If you didn't, go onto the county's website under strategic planning or the library page, and it's right there. And text me, call me, and I will come and talk to your group. So, all right.
fantastic. But, yeah.
Madam Mayor, sorry, I know we're freezing cold, but this question's for Bob. I know that I sent you an email from a gentleman, William Horn, who wrote a pretty interesting letter about the legalities of all of the takings cases. And have you had an opportunity to meet with him? I know you had it
No,
on
he's
your
traveling until about today or tomorrow, and so we have plans when he gets back to pick a date and get together.
Good, thank you.
Madam Clerk or Jathan or Giovanni, is anybody online, since I keep missing?
There are no raised hands.
Okay, fantastic. Roman, any closing comments?
No, looking forward to this. That's important, obviously, the most important thing we have coming up in the next year. So we'll be ready next year at this time for the legislative session. And need to have everybody involved. This is a community conversation. Everybody needs to be involved. So thank you.
Okay, Madam Clerk, next item.